Puzzle, hey, haven't seen you in a while. What are you doing to my screen?
Ah, horse feathers.
Wait, were you trying to steal from me?
Well, I figured it was worth a shot. After all, Rainbow Dash and Troubleshoes got away with it. I just wanted to see if I could. No offense.
Rainbow and Troubleshoes didn't steal, they both just caused massive amounts of property damage. Wow, yeah, you sure they didn't get punished for that? 'Cause it really seems like there should have been a punishment for that.
Well, since I'm here, do you want a collab on it?
If it keeps you from stealing my stuff, sure. Hello, cannedcream here, CC for short.
And I'm Puzzle Brony.
And today we would like to talk to you about crime. The system of crime and punishment in Equestria is kinda messed up, to say the least. And while Tanks for the Memories and Appaloosa's Most Wanted aren't the only examples of this, they do make for a good starting point.
Vandalism isn't the only crime we've seen ponies commit. Even the main six alone are guilty of larceny, assault, espionage. The list just keeps going on. I sometimes wonder what earns a slap on the wrist and what gets you jail time. In the example of Troubleshoes, crimes like vandalism can be forgiven if you apologize, but filly napping is clearly over the line. I do wonder how it would be handled if some pony were injured or killed.
Well, considering attempting to plunge the world into eternal darkness is punishable by banishment, I'm thinking pony slaughter has to at least be community service. Okay, but seriously, I think before we can come to any kind of answer, we need to address several key topics. Motivation, extent of damage, and, since this is Equestria, the misuse of magic. So, where do you want to start, Puzz?
I think motivation is a great point to start. Surely why a pony does something is taken into consideration.
Some ponies might be more lenient depending upon your reasons for doing what you do. I mean, there's trying to spend time with your turtle.
Tortoise.
Whatever. And then there's dominating Equestria.
The only recognized criminals we've faced thus far have been villains bent on disturbing the security of Equestria, with the exception of Troubleshoes.
Well, to be fair, the worst crimes Troubleshoes has actually committed has been some property damage. And if that alone were enough to cause jail time, then Derpy and Rainbow Dash alone be facing 40 to life. Really, Troubleshoes was in jail for suspected filly napping, which is a much more serious crime. While he was released from his sentence when the CMC told the truth, what these situations suggest is that Equestria is, for the most part, willing to forgive accidents, but not willful crimes. As for Rainbow Dash and destroying the PG Rainbow Factory, well, I guess helping to save the world 7 or 8 times does earn you some leniency.
And her vandalism also helped to speed up winter, which was lucky. Imagine the damage she could have done.
Ah, could have, but didn't. Besides, think of all the Game of Thrones references that would have gone unsaid. Tragic. I'm sure another thing that gets taken into account is the amount of damage some pony causes.
Troubleshoes got in trouble because his antics came close to hurting some pony. Rainbow might have gotten off scot-free just because it sped up winter.
The more serious crimes are likely ones that have a huge effect on some pony's life.
It probably would need to have a lasting effect that couldn't be easily fixed. Twilight was forgiven for her want it need it spell. However, I'm sure Eternal Night or the enslaving an entire empire took a while to repair.
On the surface, it would make sense. Do enough damage, even if you didn't have bad intentions, and there will likely be some kind of punishment, even if it's only cleaning up the mess you made. Of course, if we're talking about the extent of damage, nothing does it quite so well as good old-fashioned magic.
Equestrian magic tends to throw a monkey wrench in the justice system that most countries have, for many different reasons.
In fact, Equestria might even have to have a special way of dealing with magic users and the crimes committed by them. I mean, just take a look at how many MLP villains and antagonists have either been unicorns or magic users. You're kind of in serious trouble, Puzzle.
I think it's a bit more complicated than that. Magic also opens the way for more types of theft, stealing cutie marks, magic, etc. I'd imagine there are a few forbidden spells, much like the unforgivable curses used in Harry Potter.
I did talk before about the insane amount of mind control magic Equestria has. Who's to say that some crimes committed by ponies were of their own free will?
This isn't going to turn into another conspiracy theory talk, is it?
Ah, so you admit there is a conspiracy.
Moving on, mind control would be a huge problem, not just because the spells would be illegal. Who knows when some unfortunate pony, or dragon, might stumble upon an ancient evil. Are ponies forgiven for mass destruction when, under the influence?
Drinking and mind control are very different, Buzz.
I know, but I'm sure they'd have a way of determining if you're possessed, right?
Well, it's possible, but either way, punishments would need to be dealt out.
Though the severity of the punishment might be different, I'm pretty sure being banished to the moon or turned to stone might be a bit extreme for every pony.
Yeah, sure, if you've stolen an apple maybe, or destroyed public property, but I think attempted world domination is probably more befitting such actions. I mean, heck, these villains are lucky this is a G-rated cartoon, or else half of them be looking at execution. Unless you cross Cadence, because that pony will explode your ass.
Don't mess with the Crystal Empire.
But what do you think, dear listener? What other ways do you think crime could be handled in MLP?
Or what ways could a pony get away with it?
Whatever your thoughts, please leave them down in the comments below. And, you know, Puzzle, if you wanted to borrow the screen, you could have just asked.
But it's more fun this way. I'm not sure if I can handle it anyway. It's a little too strong. I have to be very careful of what I think of. Anyway, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you very much for watching, and as always,
stay pony, my friends.
Hey guys, got a few minutes to spare? Of course you do, you're on the internet. So use that spare time to follow the link in the description to Shark Discusses channel and watch a wonderful interview featuring yours truly. Hope you enjoy it.